Hey everyone, we are here to talk about benefits today. So lots of good stuff to go over. I'm Jared, this is Ryan, and this is Jeff. And we're going to start off by talking about something really exciting, which is the health savings account. So Ryan, it's your
Yeah, so health savings accounts have become a lot more popular in the last couple of years. You may have noticed it added to your benefits through work. And just in its simplest form, a health savings account is an account where you contribute money either through your payroll. Sometimes your employer will put money into it, or you can just move money into it from your bank account. And you get an immediate income tax deduction. And then you can use that money to pay for medical expenses. You just want to make sure those expenses are qualified. The IRS has a listing, and it's pretty comprehensive, so most things are going to qualify. But what happens is that you end up paying for your medical expenses really with pre-tax dollars. And what's really nice, and this is where a lot of people confuse health savings accounts with flexible spending accounts, is that your balance can accumulate year over year. So not only do you get that immediate income tax deduction, but if you fund it well enough and if your health cooperates, you can accumulate a pretty sizable balance. And then once you get maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years of your deductible in that account, you can start investing that money, which can then grow over time. And if you do it right, it can be a really great retirement planning vehicle.
Which is huge because you guys know health expenses are going up like crazy every year. And so this can be a really opportunity for you guys to save for that in a way that's tax efficient, but also can grow through the stock market.
Absolutely.
That's smart. Yeah.
And Jeff, you have been talking a lot to some clients recently, just working through life insurance, making sure that our clients are appropriately insured. And you wanted to kind of discuss sort of the differences between group term life insurance versus what somebody might buy, on the open market.
Yeah, one of the things I love about the way we're structured here at Beacon is that we don't sell any life insurance, and so we can offer some really good outside perspective on people's life insurance coverage. And one of the things we see a lot is that people will rely on group term life to get a lot of their life insurance coverage. And that can be a good idea when you're younger. It's a pretty cost-effective way to get some life insurance coverage. But what we find is that once somebody reaches about the age of 45, group term life can be a pretty expensive way, or at least can start to become a pretty expensive way to get some of the life insurance coverage that you need. So for that reason, it's good to start having a conversation about your life insurance coverage at any age, but particularly as you get closer to 45. Another thing that can happen with group term life is that you can become kind of beholden to your employer. Let's say you lose your job, or in a better case scenario, want to go out and do something on your own, but you're in a place where you're not insurable anymore. You can find yourself not able to leave your employer because you'd lose your life insurance coverage. So always good at any time to have a good conversation about your life insurance coverage and make sure you have enough, but also the right kinds, and you're getting it from the right places.
And one of the reasons that you see those premium increases in the group life insurance is because they're age banded. So every 5 or so years you move into another band, and you can see your premiums double, sometimes even more, from one year to the next. And just by default, I used to recommend clients just put as much as they could into group life insurance, but after seeing some of these premium increases, I tend to push people more towards getting individual term life insurance and not just defaulting.
Just like level term premium.
Yes, absolutely.
Lasts as long the policy lasts.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then going from life insurance to disability insurance.
There's not a whole lot for us to say here other than just to encourage you. I think one of the things that we see most often overlooked is disability insurance. And so disability insurance is a little more complicated, but like life insurance, it'll often be offered through your employer, or you can go out and get it on your own. And there's some differences between the way those two types of being insured would work. But the key takeaway for us is to make sure you're having that conversation with us or your financial planner. Because you don't want to get into a scenario, especially if you're the primary or sole earner for your family, where you're unable to work, your expenses are probably higher because of some medical event or whatever, and now you don't have any income coming in, or much less. So that's a really important piece of insurance and risk management to go over. And then last, we just kind of wanted to touch base on 401ks. The biggest thing, obviously, with a 401k is to make sure you're saving into it. And so, the first hurdle to get over is getting the company matched, so contributing whatever you need to do to get free dollars from your employer. And second, depending on your cash flow and assuming that your plan doesn't have cash going to a taxable account for some specific goal, go ahead and max out that 401k, which for 2018 is at $18,500. And then if you're 50 or older, you get a $6,000 sort of catch up that you can take advantage of. And then once you've done the savings piece, then it's kind of time to look at the investments. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a good time to take a look at how you're allocated. So sometimes you can just do a set it and forget it, whether it's a target date fund or you've picked out an investment mix on your own. It's always good to take a look at that every so often, maybe every 6 months or every year, whether you just need to rebalance or maybe you're getting closer to retirement, so you have to decrease the risk a whole lot. But going back to the contributions too, it may be helpful to look at whether you're doing pre-tax contributions like traditional 401k or if you're doing any Roth. It might be a good time to make a change between how you're contributing to it.
And a lot of what's cool about that is you, because of your income, may or may not be eligible to contribute to a Roth IRA.
Right.
But a 401k doesn't have those income limits, so you might potentially get Roth dollars in through your 401k.
Well,
So, go ahead,
Ryan.
you close.
Okay, we're just going to say thank you for your time. Again, benefit season is not something we commonly talk about, but it is really important. There's a lot of opportunities for us to get this right. If you do have questions, you know where to find us, and we are happy to help however we can. So thank you.